Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hot Takes with Matt and Hot Sauce. We are back. We are getting consistent once again. It's a beautiful Thursday. Kalvin, how are you doing?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Always fun. Always great to be on here with you, man. As the co-host, I'm excited. Let's get to it.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, you are now back working out once again after your eye injury. It's been a long time coming. Just give us an update. You announced a fight recently, and now you're training once again. How's the training going? How are you feeling? Give the viewers an update.
Man, amazing, man. Now that I can see, man, that you had a fake mustache the whole time. Your mustache just disappeared mysteriously. maybe, maybe it's my imagination. Maybe I imagine a mustache there. It's just going on, man.
That's hilarious.
Training's going great, man. Just getting back to the moving grooving thing. I can't really get hit yet, so no sparring, no contact to the eye yet. But we're back, bags, pads. I'm punching people who are sparring. You know what I mean? So that's still good, fun, running, lifting, the whole 9 yards, man. Everything's going really great, feeling good. I'm excited for the show on September 12th.
All right. So, first topic we have is Tyson Fury is fighting the day before Anthony Joshua. What's interesting about Tyson Fury's fight is that it's been announced that there will be no live stream. It won't be available for viewers to watch. The only footage will be taken for his Netflix show that months from now will air. So I've never seen that before. Kalvin, give me your thoughts. This is truly unprecedented in the modern world.
Yeah, my first thing comes to mind is that maybe the budget is really low because it's a tune-up fight for him, and there's not really a lot of profit involved into it, and trying to keep the costs as low as possible. That's the only way I can think of that makes sense of him fighting as big of a star he is with no kind of press coverage. And even though he's going to be on the reality show, that's going to be months, maybe even a year later. You know what I mean? So that's interesting. Very interesting. Maybe we catch like a bootleg YouTube video stream. Somebody's there. I don't know. We'll see though.
Yeah. Next topic I got is a guy about the same age as Tyson Fury is Conor McGregor. This is MMA, not boxing, but combat sports nonetheless. Conor McGregor is making his return for the first time in 5 years. He last fought in 2021. It's now 2026. He is turning 38 in 5 days at the time of this recording. And yeah, talk about a guy being away from combat sports for that long, making his return. What do you think? What do you think he's gonna look like? Do you think he can somehow pull it off? What are your thoughts?
Um, this is weird. This is an unpopular take. That's why we call it hot takes, right? Me watching Conor McGregor return to MMA is like watching Floyd return back to boxing. Mayweather, you know what I mean? Like they had this golden era, and they still talented. Don't misunderstand me. They're still talented. They're still gifted. They're still world class. But it's like that door has closed. You know what I mean? He's rematching a guy that he fought 13 years ago. You know what I mean? And so they wouldn't put him on the card if he wasn't marketable, and I get that and respect that. But me personally, and who the hell am I, right? Me personally, I'm gonna be watching the highlights. What's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be staying up late. I'm watching it live, and there's an interesting thing is that a guy like Conor McGregor, very few people can pull this off, but he is a legend of the sport. He has done incredible things over the years, and it seems like he's finally found some peace in his life after breaking his leg 5 years ago, becoming a junkie, allegations, going to court, doing just about every dishonorable thing you can possibly do in this world. Seems like he's found God. Seems
Yeah,
like he's found peace. He married his longtime girlfriend, who has been with him through the highs, through the lows, before he even had a name, before anyone knew who he was. She was with him. Finally got married to her, and he's really locked in with his family. So his mentality seems pretty good, and that was always one of his biggest strengths is his belief in himself.
yeah,
And before the injuries and before he really reached the peak, you could listen to him kind of give a speech and give like a motivational speech and just share his mentality, his mindset. The
yeah.
dude had a lot of wisdom prior to becoming a junkie. And it seems like he's kind of returning to that form once again. So I'm not going to count him out. If I had to pick who I think is going to win, it's going to be Max Holloway. But I think Conor McGregor, you can't count out a legend like that. And the one thing he has going for him is he hasn't sustained any damage in 5 years. That's a plus.
Yeah, really.
It's just there's a whole lot of questions around him, but he's not a massive underdog. It's like plus 180 for him right now, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
Definitely.
So, yeah. Well, Conor McGregor right now, he's probably making up for lost time in the gym. Probably a lot of hard sparring and being a boxer yourself. You just turned 36. A lot of years under the belt. A lot of times sparring. So, do you have any fun sparring stories you could share?
Oh man, fun sparring. Oh yeah. I actually just told a story in the gym a couple of weeks ago. So here at the gym, we have this saying called "close the back door." So, for instance, if I'm fighting and I shoot my jab here, I gotta make sure my opposite hand stays closed here, and vice versa. If I throw it two, I make sure I close the back door. Well, when you pivot turning and you making your move and you slip, pivot, a lot of people do just what I just did there. They slip, wash my hands, and I drop.
Yes.
Man. And so my coach, Coach Kevin, he will always get on me like, "Hey, champ, whenever you make that pivot, take your hands with you. When you make the pivot, make sure your hands stay up at the same time." I will always rebuttal because I'm young. This is like maybe one. I think it actually was. I was 1-0 in my career at the time. I was young. I was ambitious, rambunctious. I was high. You know what I mean? I was quick, speed. So I always tell them that, man. Like, if I do this, I'm gone. They ain't catch me. It don't matter what they do, they're not gonna catch me. Until I got caught. We went to LA for sparring. And I was sparring this guy named Tim Kellis, rest in peace. This guy was also up and coming. He was 4-0 at the time, I believe. He's from Turkey, but he fought on the German national team. This guy was strong, man. He was known for his left hook. And was in the ring. We was sparring 4 rounds that day. And I was boxing him, keeping him on the outside. It was competitive, but I was handling my business. Tim threw a two, right? So I slipped outside and I pivoted with my hands down like this. But this one moment, he threw the two and he followed me with his left foot. When he landed, man, I went here. Ah, my lips went this way. I did what I call a kickstand. I was going to wipe my leg. I went in the ring. Dude, he hit me so hard that his coach yelled out, "Damn!" when he hit me and shit. Boom. Had to get my shit right, you know what I mean? I mean, we finished the sparring session and it was fine after that. But as soon as I got hit, I thought about my coach Kevin, what he said about closing the damn back
Yes,
door.
sir.
My hand was like this the rest of the time and shit. It wasn't going nowhere after that, man. I remember thinking to myself, damn, if everybody in LA hits like that, I don't want to spar again tomorrow. We had sparring set up for consecutive days. If they all hit like that, I don't think I want that working tomorrow, but I got in the ring again the next day with somebody else, and it was fine. It was good after that. But that was a learning lesson. Sometimes I say this all the time with my kids, and we climb to the gym. Sometimes pain is the best teacher. You know what I mean? And that
Yeah.
shit taught me quick, kickstand, hands up. I've been good ever since.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you don't have to learn lessons the hard way, but especially us men, that's the only way we want to learn. Is we got to learn the hard way. People will tell us, but it's until we experience something like that we're like, okay, yeah, you were right.
Great line, dude. And you can see that with my kids. You know, I have 2 sons and 3 daughters, and you can see the difference of how they learn, man. I can tell my son, "Hey, don't touch that stove. That stove is hot." You can see him like something inside him. I want to do this right here. Until he touches, he go, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "I told you it was hot." And I tell my baby girl, I tell my daughter, "Hey girl, no, that's too hot. No, don't touch that. That's hot." They'll go, "Okay, daddy," and walk away from it. You can see it at a very young age, man. There's something inside me, and they are like, "No, I gotta check it out for myself." All right, very good.
Wait, so one last question. Did your sparring partner, did he kind of switch stance from orthodox to southpaw or vice versa when he
What
landed
he
that
did
hook?
was something. It was something unorthodox that he did because usually if somebody throws the two and miss, they pivot and come this way. But he threw a two, missed, and followed with the hook. So he stepped with that motherfucker and went right across my lips with that shot. He did the unexpected, you know what I mean? That's why you always prep for the worst. And my coach kept telling me, it's almost like he was a fortune teller. He could see the future happening. He was like, keep your hands up. You're not safe. And really, in the boxing ring, if I'm being honest, you're never safe. You may think you're at a range. You may think you're good. You may think you step around to get them lips knocked off.
Yeah, and that's what happened to Anthony Joshua against Dubois. He
Oh,
thought he was out of range, and then he got
yeah.
caught. But
Yeah.
you talk about that two into that step through three. You know
Yeah.
what that reminds me of a little bit? My
What's
boy
that?
Rico. That's what he was doing against Usyk. He would throw his combination. He just kept on coming.
Yeah, we got a point though, man. And that's what makes fighting those awkward fighters hard. You know what I mean? I give you a hard time, but that's what makes fighting guys like Rico or sparring guys like Tim in that moment difficult because they do things that you don't normally see or usually see in sparring or fighting. So that's why you
Yeah,
always gotta make sure these what I teach here, these are your safety nets. This is what you have just in case you don't see the punch. This is what you have just in case you what happened went wrong. When you zig, you should have zagged. This is your safety net. If I can see everything, I can have my hands down here all day. But this
yeah,
protects
yeah.
the side that you don't see. Yeah.
How bad does it hurt if you have a legit puncher and you block it?
Yeah.
How bad does that hurt your hand? And then how much damage are you taking if a guy's got power and you block it? But talk about just one, your hand, and then two, kind of the follow through on the head.
Oh yeah, man. I'll tell you right now, you still feel impact on a punch. Man, it matter if you block it or not. And I equate it to like a fighting game, video game. We playing Mortal Kombat. You have your health meter, and then you
Yeah,
can hit, health meter drops down. But then if you block on Mortal Kombat, the health meter still drops, but it's just a little bit less. That's because taking
sure.
and blocking punches still have residual damage. So even though I'm blocking it, I still feel impact, and it still also gains confidence on your opponent. So once you understand where the opponent's coming from, especially in professional boxing with those small ass baby gloves, you want to make your opponent miss as much as possible. Not by doing all this right here. I'm talking about if we're fighting, I keep my hands in front of me, so when you throw your punch, I'm do this. I don't necessarily want to always do this or always do this. I want to create just enough distance where you out of range. That way, they punch falls off and you don't take impact right here.
Interesting. Well, that was a hell of a boxing lesson. I'll have to put that in the title. This is Boxing 101 with Kalvin Hot Sauce Henderson. I think that's a solid note to end on. Short and sweet, but a quality episode nonetheless. Kalvin, you have a good one, and we'll be back very soon.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, hold it up. Hold it up. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.